Oh. Ooh, baby, look at that. That looks amazing.
Tsukemen, or dipping noodles, are by far the lesser known ramen style here in the United States. And to me, that's an absolute crime because it's probably my favorite style. The only issue is that it's kind of tricky to make and it takes a while. However, by the end of this video, you'll be able to make a pro-level, delicious bowl of Tsukemen dipping noodles for your family, your friends, your dog, all in the comfort of your own crib. To simplify what is otherwise a pretty complicated process, we've called in the big guns. You ramen heads out there know him by one name. This dude is responsible for bestowing us with arguably the definitive guide to ramen for us here in the West. The completely digital and totally free Book of Ramen. Ladies and gerbizzles, please welcome Mike Satinover, AKA the Ramen Lord.
Ramen is serious business. Let's go.
All right, man, Tsukemen noodles, a little different than the classic ramen. Let's talk about like the anatomy and what we need to do, what we're getting into. What makes up a bowl of Tsukemen noodles?
Yeah, so in a traditional setting, ramen is usually comprised of 5 components. Those components are the soup, perhaps unsurprisingly, the noodle, also unsurprisingly, and then 3 other areas which you will maybe not think about. The tare, which is the seasoning element. It's what gives the soup its like salinity and flavor. The aroma oil, which is kind of an infused oil that gives extra complexity, and then of course toppings. You gotta have some toppings.
Dude,
Toppings are delicious. Tsukemen is a little different in that the ratios of all these components differ, and in this particular recipe, we don't even have an aroma oil. So we really only have 4 of the 5 components. Still got noodles. Yeah. We have a different kind of soup, a really rich, really thick soup, and that's important for the style that we're making. And then we'll make a tare, but there's gonna be more tare. It's gonna be saltier, it's gonna be richer, it's gonna be more intense.
The soup is, it's safe to say, probably the body and soul of the ramen, or the Tsukemen in this case, but also takes the longest.
Without question.
So we better get going on that.
Gotta get started.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so right here we have a variety of different bones. We have a lot of chicken back. That's primarily what this is. We have chicken feet. And then we have 2 types of pork bones as well.
Yeah, what? Just sacks of bones? This is like kind of Dahmer-like.
We have femur, and the femur is nice because it has marrow in it, which gives the soup a very interesting flavor. And we have neck bones, and the neck bones have more meat on them, which gives it more of that meaty quality.
Yeah, like
so I like to blend the 2.
Collagen.
You're kind of doing the same thing with the chicken, right? Because this has a lot more collagen, this has more meat. You blend the backs and the feet together, and you get a more rounded, interesting profile to the soup. Cool. And we're ultimately looking for the benefits of all of these.
Cool. I just like,
so you've never seen a chicken bone?
I just love it. I just love it every time. It's like, it looks like a dinosaur like hand.
I mean, that's like what it is.
They're
right?
kind of, yeah, I guess they're kind of dinos.
From dinosaurs?
They're semi-dinos, yeah. Scientific term.
So I like to blend the 2 for the flavor, and because this amino acid profile is different than this one, so the actual like umami of the final soup is going to be more balanced, more interesting. And
cool.
Umami is big in ramen. Typically, like MSG is added. We'll add a little bit of MSG, just like a little MSG.
How about a lot, brother?
We can add as much as you want, but I'm just saying, a little MSG goes a long way.
Cool.
And it's just going to be delicious. I can't wait.
Well, what's step number 1?
Step number 1 is put this all in a pot.
All right, so this process would otherwise take, what, 18 hours?
At least 12 to 18 hours.
At least 12 to 18 hours, but with this thing, it's gonna take a lot less time, and it's gonna make it a lot easier for you to make at home. So
yeah, a pressure cooker is like a time traveling device for soup making
I like
in a lot of
that.
ways. It's just up to 8 times as fast. We could probably get this done in about 3-4 hours, basically an afternoon.
Cutting 18 hours down to 4.
Yeah.
It's wild.
And it's gonna be just as good.
Yeah.
Just as good, no issues at all otherwise.
You heard from the Ramen Lord. We're not cutting corners here.
Here.
All right, so we got some prep to do. We got our chicken feet and our chashu, but we can't just use them. We gotta prep them.
Indeed.
Right? So let's chop some toes.
Let's chop some toes. So the secret of cutting off these toes, which I admit this is probably the grossest part of this process, and if you feel squeamish about this, feel free to skip it. It's more of an extra step that I like to do, but you can cut right there is where the joint is, and the knife will just go right through.
Wow.
See? So it's cutting without cutting the bone. You're left with a little toe that you just discard. So we just got to do all of these now. So anytime I've done this, I've just been sitting here with so many dozens of chicken feet. 20, 30 pounds of chicken feet.
Hey, you chose this life, dude.
Dude, I know, trust me.
Pop all of our
little nubbins.
Yeah.
Absolutely disgusting, but.
You could, I don't know, cast a spell with these. Yeah, freeze these, they're great for spells.
Yes, yes. If you are inclined, if you're a witchcraft person, feel free to go nuts. So those are prepped. And I didn't see any dark spots, right? Like I didn't see any.
Look how pale these are.
Yeah, they look great. There's no damage on them. If you did see those, you'd want to trim those off, but I don't see any, so I think we're ready to go.
All right, right on. Chashu time. Here we got some beautiful Berkshire pork belly.
Unique to this recipe is actually cooking the pork belly in the soup. This has a benefit of flavoring the soup with that delicious porky flavor, and also then cooking the chashu in a nice tender way.
It's also a lot easier because you don't have to worry about doing something like on top of what you're doing. You
a
just
lot
pop
of
it
really
in there.
old school shops, when they make chashu, they don't roast it at all. They just cook it in soup and then they steep it in like soy sauce and flavorings and stuff.
You're saying they steam it? They steep it?
Steep it, just
steep
like,
it. Okay.
and we'll do that here too. We just take the cooked log of chashu and then we soak it in some flavoring.
Okay.
So get a nice long amount of string, probably longer than you think you need.
All right. Here, well,
Right.
you're the lord of the ram.
You're seeing more than that.
More than
Maybe a
that.
lot
Okay,
more than
well, you know what? Why don't you do that?
So the way that I like to do this
Yeah.
is I like to do like at least three.
Three fat pulls.
3 fat pulls.
3 like lawnmower pulls.
Almost like the width of your body, yeah. For a piece this size. So tying chashu is not difficult. I think a lot of people overcomplicate it, but there are some things to keep in mind. The first is, if you look at the grain here, you can see right now that the muscle is going this direction. If I turn it this way, you can see it even clearer, right? That there's striations going along this way. If I were to tie the chashu in this direction, it's gonna be much more difficult. And also it's gonna be difficult to slice and the texture is gonna be weird. So a little pro tip is look at the grain of your belly. You can see it's kind of going this direction.
And then it kind of changes, but yeah, most
it always changes. So depending on where you are in the belly, you'll have to figure it out, but this one is gonna look good this way. So we're gonna roll it this direction, right?
Okay.
That way the final bundle, you can see, is nice and even, and when we slice it, it's gonna be super tender and delicious. Easy peasy.
Totally.
So let's get to rolling.
So nice and tight, huh?
So rolling this is not super difficult. I do the easiest thing ever, which is I take this string, I bring it up, I just tie it twice.
1, 2, so you can
just so
cinch
it's
it.
stuck. Nice pull. And now this is basically in the shape that I want. Knowing that this needs to go under, I take the string and I rotate it under and then I pull tight. And that's gonna help give me the final shape. And then once I just do that, I pull hard and go again. Pull hard, go again. And the goal of this truss is primarily to give it an even shape. Once you get to the end, like I just did, you just go back around. You just keep doing it. Maybe about an inch, inch and a half apart.
Wow, that is tight.
And then as tight as you can get it. And then when you have this extra, just loop it under. And that's basically.
You don't even tie it off at the end, huh?
Nope.
Loop it under.
Super easy. And
Wow.
That's gonna look awesome.
Look at that. That is a nice pork tube. That's nice.
Look at our beautiful baby.
Oh, it's so cute.
It's so cute.
It needs to breastfeed.
Time to cook. These are called genkotsu in Japanese, and that's because they look like fists. Genkotsu literally means like hand bone. This part here is really critical though. This marrow, that's where all the flavor is. The uniqueness of this dish comes from that.
All right, we got the bones. Now what?
The first part of the process is to cook the bones, unsurprisingly. Nice. So take your bones and put them in the pressure cooker.
And again, we got the femurs and the necks. Yeah. Necks for flavor, femurs for collagen, but they're both flavor and they're both collagen.
Both have both.
Yeah.
Just put those in there and then cover with a generous amount of water. It's hard to over cover with water.
Hell yeah, let's do it together.
Yay! Wow. Yeah, let's get
perfect.
How about we do one? Yeah. Let's do that one. Yeah, that'll be good. 3 is good.
That's good.
We just want to make sure that they're fully submerged. Now we heat. And on the pressure cooker, that's just the saute function. Boop.
Okay, so we're up to a roll and boil, what? It's been 15 minutes or something?
Yeah, give or take.
Give or take. We got a lot of ganar kind of forming at the top here, right?
That is the technical term, the ganar. Yeah, and so I just like to skim this off. Some people keep it. I think it's just good to get rid of it. It has an off-putting flavor sometimes.
And you were saying that some ramen chefs who make Tsukemen like keep this in.
They keep all that in there.
Yeah.
There's some people who would argue that that flavor is valuable to the final dish. Me personally, I like to skim it off. I think that's pretty good. I mean, you don't have to be perfect. You just want to get the majority of it. I'd rather that not be in my final soup.
I feel you on that, 100%.
And then one other pro tip, if you really want to be a stickler, is you can get a paper towel or something and just wipe the perimeter. Yeah, just get rid of that residual stuff. It's kind of gnarly.
We got our pig bazooka.
Pig bazooka. I like that.
Here you are, my friend. Will it fit?
Will it fit? I think with enough effort it will.
Okay.
So there's still some scum, that's fine. We got rid of most of the gross stuff. We're just gonna kind of...
Just right on top there. Oh, it's perfect.
It's perfect, that's like destiny.
The Cinderella shoe of pork.
Get that in there.
Does it need to be submerged in the water?
No, because this pressure cooker's gonna steam it. That's
totally.
fine. So that's perfect.
That looks cool.
Now all we need to do is cover and pressure cook this thing. Yeah. That's it. We're gonna set this to pressure cook, 1 hour, and then it's just gonna go.
All right, so pressure cooking, like how is it's actually working on the inside? How is pressure cooking making this go faster?
Yeah, so essentially what happens is the pressure inside of the vessel results in the boiling point of water increasing. So normally the boiling point of water is 212 Fahrenheit. Inside of here, it gets higher and higher, right? And as that gets higher, things cook faster, right? Higher temperature, faster cooking, basically. At this stage, this will cook things about 6 to 8 times as quickly as if you were to just do it in regular water.
That's pretty cool.
The water is at a higher temperature.
Now, ramen noodles are notoriously kind of tough to make, especially these sort of heftier ones, unless, of course, you have a 2,000-pound noodle making machine in your apartment.
It's only 600 pounds, but yeah, that's pretty good.
Only 600 pounds. So if we're not making the noodles, what's the next best option here?
Yeah, I would definitely recommend for beginners or people who've never made ramen before that you buy the noodle.
Is there a massive difference in making your own noodles versus buying them from the store in this case? Like,
honestly, I think a lot of the time the professionals make a product that's as good, if not better, than what you can usually make at home. And in fact, most ramen shops in Japan buy noodles. They don't make noodles.
That's a crazy fact.
Well, it's kind of like if you go to a burger shop, how many places bake the bun?
True, true. That's a very good analogy. Yeah, very
Similar
few.
idea.
Okay, so we're buying noodles from the store. These are what you recommend here.
For this dish, I like these noodles. They're really thick.
Yeah.
They're really bouncy. They're really chewy.
Thick, bouncy, and chewy. So you can get these at like most Asian markets. Like we're talking like H Mart, like
H Mart, Mitsuwa, other local Asian grocery stores will usually have them.
I'm gonna have a ton of helpful links in the description of this video and on my website. If you're interested in a product or something we're working with, it's likely posted somewhere in that link list. We want you guys to be able to recreate this at home like with ease, right? That's kind of the whole goal here.
That's the whole goal.
Cool. Soup done, noodles done. Let's talk tare.
Tare, the secret sauce of ramen.
The secret. Okay, I like that.
Yes. So this tare is really simple because this soup has a lot of stuff going on in it. I didn't want the seasoning to really take control of everything. So it's very simple. It's got 3 ingredients. Soy sauce.
Classic.
Little mirin. This is a fake mirin product that I like. And then
MSG, baby.
MSG.
The God particle.
Yes.
As far as like these products go, here in the States, this stuff's everywhere.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because when you brought this in, I was surprised because I was like, oh, like that's the stuff that I was trying to avoid because I didn't know if it was like I thought it was just like bad American stuff, but you're saying it's solid.
Yeah, I mean, this soy sauce, Kikkoman, is made the classic standard way and it's made in Wisconsin. It's awesome.
Wisconsin, that's wild, man. They make
Midwest.
cheese in soy sauce.
So good.
That's pretty tight. Keep it
So
moving.
this recipe is super simple, and I usually follow the standard ratio, which is 9 parts this by weight, 1 part this by weight, and then a little bit of MSG
a little
taste.
sprinkle.
A little sprinkle. Well, maybe a little more. Depends.
Maybe. Okay, so 9 parts soy.
So we're gonna do half the recipe. Normally it's 450 grams, but we don't need that much, so 225.
Okay.
So just 225 soy sauce.
What's the difference between shoyu and soy sauce?
Nothing. They're identical.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
and then 25 grams of mirin.
The mirin product, you mean?
Yeah, the mirin product. It's heavy too, so you gotta
Yeah,
be very
wow,
careful.
that's dense. It's quite literally syrupy.
Yeah, because it's
Corn syrup, right?
basically corn syrup. Oh my gosh. Are you gonna nail it? Oh!
Dude, this could be like an Olympic event. Honestly, I think it could be.
All right, so now MSG. I don't think we need to add too much. I'm thinking...
No, not that much.
How much do you want to add?
No.
How much do you want to add?
A lot. No, I'm just kidding.
I would do maybe 6%, so like 3 grams. Let's see it. Let's get to 3 grams. Oh, you can go heavier than that. One more. There you go. That's tare. Don't have to cook it. Don't have to do anything else.
So that's
Super
literally
easy.
all you do. You just do that, mix it up. You don't
Mix
even
it
have
up. Tare, done.
Tare done. That's crazy. There are a few specialty ingredients that we definitely cannot ignore. They might be a little more difficult to source depending on where you live, but Mike, you want to take it from here?
Yeah, so starting from here, we have dried sardines called niboshi, kind of oceanic, classic fish quality.
Gotcha.
Here is a little more classic ingredient. Most people who have cooked Japanese food know this is katsuobushi.
Classic.
So it's dried striped jack tuna. It's fermented. It's kind of smoky.
Yeah.
The other classic dashi ingredient is kombu. Right, that's just dried kelp. And those little white crystals on there are like basically crystallized MSG.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Yeah.
These three are the most critical.
Okay.
Also a couple other esoteric things. This is sababushi or mackerel flakes. It's like this, but just made from a different fish.
A lot thicker too.
Yeah, this one is a lot thicker. And then this is basically fish powder. So it's like taking these dried fish flakes and just blitzing it into a powder.
Yeah.
This is definitely gonna be the hardest one to find. If you can't find this, just take some katsuobushi, toast it in a hot oven for maybe 5 minutes.
On a sheet tray?
On a sheet tray. And then just blend it into a powder in a blender or a food processor.
So makeshift gyofun, basically just toasted and ground up katsuobushi. We'll get the job done.
That's it.
And this stuff can be a little harder to source, so I will leave links in the website recipe page for you. All right, this thing has been going for what, an hour?
An hour. Time to depressurize.
Depress, let's do it. Oh, pork shower.
So yeah, sometimes I will vent this faster by moving it. There we go.
Yeah, that is some pork.
It's porky.
It's like a barnyard. It's barnyard smoke.
Barnyard. Don't worry, it dissipates over time. The pressure valve is down. Time to see what's inside. It's shrunk a lot and it's pretty tender.
Here's your.
So what I like to do is just take a chopstick and see if it goes in nice and easily. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Salad.
You take it out of the soup, put it into a plastic bag. Oh,
Nice.
beautiful.
Just check this out. Look at the contents of this. All
So
these.
those
bones.
are already starting to come down. They're getting
Totally.
broken down, but we're gonna go even further
Cool.
with another whole hour.
So next step is to put the chicken products in. We got our pork
Right.
products. We took the chashu out. Chicken in.
Right, because the pork takes longer to cook. The pork is, the bones are denser, right? Like bird bones are more hollow. They don't take as long to cook, so we just break it up into 2 parts.
Cool.
Let's put that in.
Got our chicken footies.
And just take our little backs and plop them in. All right, chicken is in, nice and submerged. 1 more hour, under pressure.
Let's go, baby. Under pressure.
There you go.
Cool. Okay, so chashu's in the bag.
Chashu's cooked, ready to go. We just need to season it. So what we like to do is add a little bit of soy sauce and a little bit of mirin right into the bag and just let it hang out.
Just eyeball it.
Just eyeball it.
Yeah. Fair amount.
That's good.
Mirin wise, tell me one.
That's good.
All right. Easy enough.
Tuck that in, let it sit for a couple hours. You're good to go.
Get air out. Give that a nice little
Toss
slosh.
it every now and then. Super easy.
So you can just set that aside.
Yeah, just set it aside. Room
Okay.
temp is fine.
Room temp.
You're good to go.
Cool. Yet another hour has passed by.
Time to remove the pressure.
Let's do it. Gets me every time.
We like to joke around.
Whew.
It's super soft, right?
Yeah, that chicken is really coming through. Also, the fat color changed from just
fat
kind of
color
white to like
changed,
yellowy.
right? Now let's add some aromatics in and get this going.
At this point, we have the aromatics. It's been 2 pressure cooker times. We did the pork and the chashu.
Everything here is cooked.
cooked, like hard.
Start with just onion.
Onion.
Onions,
That's 1 onion quartered up. Some garlic.
Some nice delicious garlic and some ginger.
Gingy.
And you can just use the saute function.
All right.
Cook this for a boil for a
So
while.
we're just gonna simmer it away. Simmer away for
About an hour.
about an hour.
Until it's pretty tender.
Cool.
That's it.
We don't even need to cover
You
it
don't
up
need to
anymore.
cover it. In fact, I'd recommend not.
Cool. Can I just like mix it around? Right now, like slosh it
You can
around.
literally slosh this
Look at
around.
that. That's slosh. That
I mean, it's all broken up. It's like
Right.
everything is very thoroughly cooked, right?
Look at this. We're sloshing it around. You said we can pretty much agitate this
Yeah,
out.
you can go crazy.
It's starting to smell like real food. All right, so it's been about 30 minutes. Our aromatics have been simmering. Onto the fishy.
Onto the fishy.
Okay,
The
well,
final step before we get this thing complete.
sweet.
So you basically just put all this in there, but to make it easy to get out, we're gonna put it inside of
A fish stock.
fish stock.
This is just a little bag for aromatics for stock. Cheesecloth works too.
Oh my gosh. Nice.
Cheese. Thing's kind of sharp.
good.
All right, cool. And then these can go in loosey-goosey?
Yeah, this will go in at the very end.
Okay.
So we just wanna make sure that the big chunky bits we can fish out easier later.
Sweet. So this is chunky bit sock. Look
Chunky
at that.
bit sock.
Chunky
Ready?
bit sock, yep.
And it goes. Push this in. Get it nice and submerged.
Just all in, just sprinkle it over. That's going straight into the liquid, baby. That's thickening everything too.
And now we'll just cook this for like 10 to 20 minutes. We'll add the katsuobushi because it takes about 3 minutes and we're done. Do slow cook, 30 minutes. Cool. This has been cooking about just under an hour. And everything is very soft, but we just need to add the final ingredient, which is the katsuobushi.
Katsu.
This only takes like 3 minutes to steep, as opposed to the other stuff, which takes a lot longer. So in it goes. Just give that a good old pressy press.
Good old fish press.
Delicious. Delicious slop. It smells so good though. It smells awesome. So now we're just gonna take off all this kind of sludgy katsuobushi. Just good to remove as much of this as you can early in the process. And kind of press it and let some of that residual come in. Again, if you can't get all of it, not the end of the world. We just don't want too much extra fish flake if we don't need it. Okay, so now I'm gonna remove the fish bag. We're gonna get it into the press. It just comes out, in there. And then same idea, just press it very lightly. Just because there's some goodies in there.
Extraction. Do you want me to take this fish bag out of here?
Yeah, we can toss that now.
Full extraction, look at that. Yum!
All right, now we strain, and it goes. Oh God. There's barely any liquid in here left. That's why the blend is important, because there's all this stuff in here still. Yeah, a lot of juice locked in there, which is why it's important to do this pressing.
That's sweet, sweet animal nectar.
Okay.
Back in the pot. All right, so next step is to go through these bones and pick out which ones you think are gonna blend.
Basically I just use my tongs and I feel for anything kind of really hard, right?
Okay.
If I feel something
You don't want the hard stuff in the blender.
Don't want those in the blender. Anytime I feel something that's particularly rigid, I'm just pulling it out. And this is the most annoying part of the process. If you miss some, it's okay.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's gonna break your blender.
No, your blender's gonna nail it. It's gonna be a problem. Cause like, look, this bone.
Oh what?
Yeah.
You just snapped a femur in half with your hands. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's very
What?
So yeah, you just want to get rid of the big pieces. There's gonna be some small little mini bones in here that are gonna just get blended into the slurry. It's gonna give it this kind of gritty texture.
Look at that.
That's all garbage.
Steaming bone garbage.
Steaming bone garbage. Toss that.
Peace. The final step.
The blend.
The blend.
So we have this soup. It's definitely separated. It doesn't look like a tonkotsu at all, but we're gonna get there.
Okay.
First, we want to get a lot of that fat out and just put it into the blender. So
we're skimming some of the broth, but we want a lot of fat.
Yeah. You could probably take most of this.
What, like what do you say, half? Because we got a 2 quart yield, so 1 quart-ish, give or take.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on how much you have left here.
We have a lot of meat too, which is nice.
We have a lot of meat. So we got all that in here now. And now we take this meat, this horrifying meat, and we also put it into the blender.
This horrifying meat. That fishy meat.
Yeah, get to bone. Okay.
We took half of our final stock, right, our soup, and looks to be about half of our meat sludge. And now we just blend away.
Just blend away.
Woohoo! Now we're cooking.
Now we have pig smoothie. So we add this in.
Whoa.
I know. And so suddenly this is like this beautiful, almost gravy-like consistency, right?
It's straight, like loose gravy, yeah.
And so if you want it thicker, you can blend more of this stuff in it.
We can control the viscosity by adding more meat sludge if we want, but for now...
Or you can thin it out with water.
Water.
Yeah, just water. But there you
go. So that looks right, this is it.
I think so, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. Marinated chash. Ooh yeah, it smells delish.
Undo this string. See then, because I didn't fully tie it, you can just pull it off. So with a very sharp knife, you can either chill this or just with a really sharp knife get in there. And I like maybe 1/2 inch slices.
Oh yeah.
And you want to really like not slice it too much until you're ready to eat it.
Like to order, you're saying? Like
yeah.
So like if you're making a lot of chashu and you're making only a couple bowls, keep it like this. Don't pre-slice all of it.
Right. Because this is going to help it prevent it from oxidizing.
Yeah.
You can keep this in the fridge for up to a week, basically.
Yeah. It's super fatty, right?
It's beautiful. Now we're just going to cook the noodles. These will take longer than the package instructions because we're gonna chill them after, about 4 minutes. I mean, these would be done at this point, but you wanna cook them longer for the Tsukemen because when you shock them, they get denser, they get firmer. So you wanna kinda overcook them past the package directions. So now we strain. And then cold water, rinse. Feeling on the underside to make sure that the water that's coming through is cold. That's how you know it's pretty good. Use your hands to kind of stir it around, make sure everything is nice and thoroughly chilled. And then when it is, I like to press it a little bit just to get rid of any residual. Because you really don't want any water sitting in that basket, right? And then you can kind of try and plate them if you'd like. These are pretty short. So
yeah, they're tough to do the fold, huh?
Can't really do the fold. So you just
make them look nice. Plump them up.
Plump them up a little bit. Now we plate.
All right.
So that's the soup bowl.
Yep.
Take the tare, put just about one of these ladles, about 2 tablespoons.
So tare in first.
And then take this soup.
I love how it just mixes with the tare.
There you go.
Dang.
All right, now to top, right?
Yeah, so let's talk about accoutrement. We got our tare done, we got our noodles and the soup. Talk about little extras and additions here in the Tsukemen.
The first thing is a little bit more of that fish powder on top.
Where does that go? Right on top?
Just right on top.
Okay.
All over the top. And since this is very thick, it just floats there.
It's a little island of fish pow.
I like to add a couple pieces of nori to the noodles right there.
Yeah.
Just 2 is good.
Cool.
A couple pieces of menma, just right there.
And what's menma again?
Fermented bamboo shoot, very classic ramen topping. A couple pieces of beautiful pork belly right there.
Nice.
And then these eggs that you so graciously made for us.
So I have a short video for you, which I'll link somewhere, that'll tell you how to do this from start to finish. But essentially, these are just 7-minute eggs soaked with water, mirin, and shoyu, soy sauce, for 2 days. Very simple. Look at that color too.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Just like stained. So what do you do with this?
I just like put it right there.
Pop it right here, and you would just keep it whole?
Yeah, keep it whole.
Keep it whole, baby.
And then lastly, just a little green onion right in the soup. If we did it right, it'll float.
Wow, it floats, baby.
That's it.
That is amazing.
There you go.
We have it all. Look at that, come on. I feel like all this work and all this time doing this, and now it's like finally.
I know, go for it.
I'm just gonna say, I'm so proud of us.
Yeah, just get a nice amount of noodles, not too many, less than you think you need.
Okay.
Dip them in, give them a quick little swirl.
A quick swirl.
And now slurp.
Oh, my Lord. My Lord. Bro. The farmhouse be out in full effect. That's so good. Like you said, it's like super rich. It's like smoky too. The green onions got that like freshness. It's just, dude, it's balanced as hell.
Yeah, it's so good.
So good.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me over.
Of course, dude, thank you. Thank you. The Lord of Ramen himself has bestowed us.
Ooh, baby, look at that. That looks amazing. I'm gonna try this now.
Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Give it a slosh. Yeah, dude. Yeah, right? Thank you for showing us the way. That was quite the adventure.
Yeah, man, fun time.
Yeah, dude, these are some serious noodles, so I appreciate you taking what would otherwise be a pretty complicated task and simplifying it, making it more doable.
Yeah, I think that, like, you know, with a little bit of dedication, any home cook can really get this done.
100%. Yeah, after seeing this today, I have faith in you. I think you can do it.
Me too.
He does too. The Lord of Ramen himself has faith in you.
And that's really what this is about. It's like, I just hope that people will give it a shot, or at least understand, you know, all the components and really respect the craft.
Totally. You're opening a restaurant soon.
Correct, yes.
What's that all about? Tell the squad.
Well, depending on when you post this, hoping for a 2023 fall launch for the ramen shop.
And what's it called?
Akahoshi Ramen.
Akahoshi Ramen. What does that mean?
Red Star, which is you know, without getting too much in the detail, the symbol represents both Chicago, where we are, and also Sapporo, Hokkaido, where I lived and where I learned a lot about ramen. So it's like my homage to the two places that have influenced my skills, if you will. Looking forward to doing it.
Akahoshi Ramen, people, it's gonna be like a top 5 ramen shop in the country when it opens.
About that.
Probably a top 1 at the end of the year. I think so, at least.
We'll try and do the best that we can.
Yeah, man. Well, that's all we can do, right?
Yeah.
Thank you for watching, guys. You know the drill. If you liked the video, got value out of it, give it a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Join the Discord, too. Come say what up and hang out with us. That's a fun time always. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you. So until next time. Mike, thanks again, man.
Good to see you, man.
Yo, dude.
Woo-wee.
Nice slurp. Good stuff. So good. She liked it.